Every year you work towards something, towards a goal, right? Which is to get a promotion, to be able to take care of your family, to be able, I don't know, provide a house for them or take care of your parents. You work towards a goal. It's not a failure. It's steps to success, you know. And if you've never, I don't want to make it personal. So there's always steps to it, you know. Michael Jordan played 15 years, won 6 championships. The other 9 years was a failure? That's what you're telling me? No, I'm asking you a question. Yes or no?
I mean, I don't think so, no.
Okay, exactly. So why you asking me that question? It's a wrong question. There's no failure in sports. You know, there's good days, bad days. Some days you are able to be successful, some days you're not. Some days it's your turn, some days it's not your turn. And that's what sports is about. You don't always win. Some other people's gonna win. And this year, somebody else is gonna win. Simple as that. We're gonna come back next year, try to be better, try to build good habits, try to play better, not have a 10-day stretch with playing bad basketball, you know, and hopefully we can win a championship. So 50 years from 1971 to 2021 that we didn't win a championship, it was 50 years of failures? No, it was not. It was steps to it, you know, and we were able to win one. Hopefully we can win another one. You know, sorry that I didn't want to make it personal, because you asked me the same question last year, and last year I was in the right mind space to answer the question back, but I remember it. Next.
I love it when the Greek freak turns into the Greek philosopher. Respectfully,
there are lots of them.
Nah. Respectfully, nah. Hey, listen, I appreciate, guys, Giannis's personal way of viewing success and failure and winning and losing. And I'm sure Gloria from White Men Can't Jump really appreciates him saying sometimes when you actually lose, sometimes you lose, you actually win, and sometimes when you want to lose, you actually tie, and so on and so forth. But when we can count on one hand, just about, because they're number 6, the amount of times an 8 seed has beaten a 1 seed. When you had the best record in the NBA this season, when you have the best player on your team, he missed 3 games, but you have the best player on your team, but specifically to game 5. When you have a 16-point lead entering the 4th quarter, when you are up by 4 with 10 seconds left in regulation, when you don't take a timeout at the end of regulation, when Mike Budenholzer takes 2 timeouts, when he fails to call a timeout at the end of overtime, when Grayson Allen is the last person with the ball in his hands, when you have said best player in the world on your team, when you lose to a team who has the player who I would want, I'll come back to him later, who I would want to win a game over anybody right now, Jimmy Butler, but when you lose to a team that lost its first play-in game and then was trailing in its second play-in game, that is a freaking failure. It is a failure. Okay. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. But now, is it all on Giannis? No. Oh, by the way, Michael, they also missed 13 free throws. There's no other way to slice it. This is a failure. Okay.
There is another way to slice it.
Shit happens.
Hey, you know what, Michael and Natalie, there is another way to slice it, and I'll say it this way. Both of you can come to me with a correction. You can come to me with a correction, and you can have a valid point. But if you don't come correct in your message or come correct in the way you're trying to approach me, then I'm going left, or I'm going to go off on a different point that kind of goes away from what your issue was with me or what you were trying to get out of me. So that's what happened yesterday with Giannis. He was tripped up on the word failure. Eric, I don't know who Eric is, but Eric, yes, same question last year. He wasn't in the mind space to answer it last year.
It's a trigger
this
word.
year,
it's a trigger word.
This year, he's trying to tell you his life philosophy about situations. He happens to be a basketball player. That's his profession, Natalie. So he's going to tell you, as a basketball professional, I'm not going to win every year, and every year I don't win is not necessarily a failure. What Eric should have asked him is, how do you see this? How do you feel about this result? How do you assess this? Then we all would have gotten to what Giannis eventually said,
Sawowski.
which
you
was
were
right.
Mark Cuban.
Right.
You were Mark Cuban.
Yeah.
That the question was out of pocket.
Question was whack. He told you how he felt, Natalie. You know what he said? The Bucks were playing for a championship. The Heat were playing to beat the Bucks. He's disappointed that they're not going to win. So I agree with his big picture failure.
Life
it's not
philosophy.
Failure, it's an opportunity. Yeah. But really, he also he gave Eric what he was looking for. Yeah. It hurts him. That's what he wanted. Mm-hmm. He would have gotten a better answer for basketball purposes if he had just asked a better question.
Yeah, I mean, I see this pretty divided, like in terms of the way the conversation is unfolding, but I don't think there was anything wrong with his question personally, and it also elicited a great response. So, I don't think there's anything wrong with asking that. Do you view it like that? And these other can we go back to those quotes from him? These other philosophical quotes from Giannis, like all the stuff that he was making. Like honestly, I rolled my eyes. Like everyone was like raving over the speech. Can we go back to the Giannis quotes? Yeah. Everyone was raving about like his answer. I just rolled my eyes. Like I get it. In that moment, he's being it was triggering for him, right? So I don't want to he was just reacting in that moment. I think when he has time to process, and it's not right in the heat of the moment after the game, you're not going to get those kinds of answers. But all this, they were counting down, looking forward to the championship, they were playing to beat us and we were playing to win a championship. I do think it's really important that he said that, because when they were making these decisions not to play Giannis in game 3, I said, okay, the Bucks are, because we saw him moving around in practice, and I don't want to say how healthy he was, but I said, this is that arrogance that sometimes, Michael, you and I have talked about that the Warriors display, but it's to me, this was them not respecting their opponent in the Miami Heat. This was them not taking them seriously enough. So you didn't put him out there till game 4, because we're just talking about. I don't know why
they wouldn't take that team of all teams. I wouldn't take that team seriously enough, but go ahead.
Exactly. So he doesn't play until game 4. They're down 2-1, because you guys just talked about game 5. But remember, Giannis played in game 4. So you had a chance to even up the series on their home court. You guys didn't do that. Then you come back home, you don't do it. And it's just why were y'all looking so far ahead? Why were y'all looking so far ahead? So right. I think there's just so many failings, and I don't want to hear speeches about, all this stuff he said. I don't want to hear it. It's a failure. The season is a failure. You were not a failure, but the season is.
The season is definitely a failure.
Like that question? Natalie, you like that question? Would you ask that question?
Hold on. He invoked Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan would have said, dude, keep my name out your mouth. Go sit your ass down somewhere. Yes, those 9 seasons when I didn't win were a failure. Rest in peace, Kobe Bryant. But that doesn't mean it's a bad thing. Failure is necessary. A lot of times, to his point, I love the line, it's not failure, only steps to success. I don't think they're mutually exclusive. I think failure is the pathway to success. Failure does not ever have a negative connotation. It does not have to be a defining moment. It does not have to be an indictment. And I wonder how Giannis would look at this if he hadn't already won a championship. But to answer your question, Michael, about the question, I didn't think it was a bad question. And I subscribe to the gospel of John Sawatsky. But I think there are exceptions. And I think you can ask confirm or deny questions. I think you can ask loaded questions. I think you can ask non-neutral questions in certain instances. And I think when you are, again, one of 6 teams now as a 1 seed to lose to an 8 seed, the question, do you think this is a failure, is justified. And he got an answer that was triggering. But again, it was Giannis was triggered, Michael, because failure, unfortunately, for too many people has a negative connotation. Failure is oftentimes necessary. And it wasn't a failure that is at Giannis's feet, in my opinion, because people are talking about his legacy. There's legacy and there's reputation. His legacy is not secure, but it is yet to be written.
Yeah, we don't.
From a reputation standpoint, I don't think this is necessarily a setback. Who this is on is Mike Budenholzer, to a lot of what Natalie was just saying.
Well,
I just want to say, no, his legacy is still that he's going to be a great player. He's won a championship. He's already going to be a Hall of Famer. But I think that the way that because I don't, the way that it is thrown out, he is the best player in the NBA and all of this, we got to stop that. There's no more he's the best player in the NBA and all of that, because the best player in the NBA is not giving up the ball to a role player on the team. Let you guess what?
Yeah. I want to get to that best player thing. I'll just say this. Everything you just said, Michael, you could have set it up. He could have set it up, or anybody could have set it up this way. And how rare of me to agree wholeheartedly with Mark Cuban. That's scary. But number 1 seed to lose to a number 8 seed, given your championship aspirations, how do you now view this? How do you view it?
No, that's the appropriate way to ask the question. Listen, Michael, you know I agree with you, but I don't think it's an absolute rule that you cannot ask, confirm, or deny questions. And that's the elephant in the room. And I don't know that question in this instance, we don't know, but answering it open-ended, neutral, and lean, as we are taught to do, would have elicited that kind of.
It was lean.
But would it have?
It was lean.
But would it have elicited? Okay, not to go too far into the science, but Michael, this is why people ask those types of questions, because they're oftentimes rewarded accidentally. Would it have elicited the same passionate responses got everybody talking today? I don't know, because he may not have.
Given his history. Yes, it would absolutely.
Use the word failure. He may not have used the word. Giannis may not have volunteered failure.
But. Okay, but see, this is a relationship thing here. This is why people stay in bad relationships, because you got a reward for something that's good and you missed out on something that's great because you weren't willing to take the steps to go toward greatness. This dude delivers gems on the regular. So you ask him some bullshit question, you get this response, and now everybody is gone viral, and you think you've done your job. You haven't, Eric. It was whack.
I feel you. Hey, listen, Michael, you and I, we both worship John Sawatsky. But back to Natalie for a second, though.
I'm not
Natalie,
this energy. Go ahead.
But I know that you already had Steph as the best player. So I'm not directing this at you. I'm not directing this at you when I say, let's not all of a sudden look at Giannis like he looking funny in a light, because Giannis had the same flaws coming into this. He needs to get back in the gym. He might be 7 foot, whatever, but he's got room to grow when it comes to his game. But I don't think that this. But I don't think this. But okay, all I'm saying to you, Natalie, you can take it from here. I don't think that this series should serve to serve some sort of confirmation bias that Giannis was, I'll use this word, I know you're not saying it, overrated, or that this series is an indictment of Giannis when he missed 3 games. He missed a lot of free throws when it mattered, but he missed 3 games. And you can't lower Giannis and elevate Jimmy Butler at the same time. Yes, it is a zero-sum game. Go ahead, Natalie.
The reason I'm not really persuaded by he only played 2 games is because the one game that they did win was without him. He was there for 2 games. And part of the reason why they lost is because of him. He can't make free throws, right? Or he's not consistent enough at them. Like he was, and when he almost threw the ball out of bounds, it's because he was so worried about getting fouled that he was trying to like overthrow the ball. Chris Middleton saved it, but it's just like, I just don't understand how you can keep overlooking those weaknesses and then calling someone the best player. Like, you're right. They always existed, which is why I never had him as the best player. I had him as a top player, but I didn't have him as the best player. So for me, there is no like
as MVP, if I recall correctly.
No, I had Embiid as the MVP.
I feel like you've made arguments on behalf of Giannis. Like
I think so too.
Which by the way, Natalie, I do think there is a distinction between regular season MVP and that mythical title of best player. So I'm not like, this ain't a gotcha, but I'm just saying I feel like you've given Giannis some love in the past.
Yes,
I remember
Giannis over Jokic, I said. And also, I'm not saying Giannis is not great. I'm not saying he's 2 or 3. But the way, and I think you and Michael were having a conversation about this the other day, where you were just like, there was a time where you feel like for the last 2 or 3 years, it's been like, Giannis is the best player. And like, you're right. Yeah. That was, I think, largely who people thought. And I used to always get very annoyed by that, because I'm just like, okay, what, like, he has these weaknesses in his game. Okay, he lost last year, fine. Everyone said, oh, when he got Middleton back, they were going to come back and do something. Then they come back this year and lose in the first round. I'm just saying that conversation needs to end. There can be no more he's undisputed best player. Like, that needs to be reexamined. I already never had him as that. But to me, I'm like,
well, of course you didn't. I'm just saying.
Right.
You're not exactly the most objective.
Let's get to it.
I love you, but
Come on,
you're not exactly the most
let's just get
objective.
to it.
No one else and other superstars would not get these
Come on.
passes. This whole debate that is happening today about
It ain't a debate.
and failure
Let's get to it.
and all this bullshit. Y'all not doing that for Steph. It's probably not happening for LeBron. It's not happening for so many players.
I've just dismissed it. Like, it's a failure. There are 15 teams that's going to fail this year. Again, I say there's nothing wrong with it. He can philosophize about it all he wants. This is a failure. You're the 1 seed. Yes, you were hurt. You lost to the 8 seed. That's a historic failure. But to say that Giannis is disqualified from consideration, well, you didn't say that.
Yes,
you said
he went out in the first round.
No. Wait, hold on. Wait, I'm saying, I thought you just said that he's no longer the undisputed best player. Are you saying he's disqualified from consideration in the conversation for best player, Natalie?
I don't want to hear his name as the best player, but everybody.
Oh, you tripping now.
Free.
Go ahead, Mike. Mike, where's your Bucks shirt today, by the way?
People are
Where's
free
your
to
Bucks shirt?
What's that?
whatever they want, right? Like,
Mike,
this is opinion based.
No Bucks today.
It is.
Come on, you gotta get some love.
Why don't we talk about a player who is actually still playing, who is still in the playoffs, one who should be considered the best player in the world, the one who has dominated the last several years.
I love how you stay on brand.
Look at that.
I love how you stay on brand. Turn that shit off. Wait, you know what? Enough of this. You're out of pocket. You are completely out of pocket. You're completely out of pocket. Turn that down.
What does that tweet say?
Turn that down.
What does that tweet
Okay.
say? Warriors beating the road allegations because I
Gary,
thought someone
turn the music off. Now,
told y'all.
Please.
I thought someone told y'all that the road record was fake. I thought someone told y'all that. I want to hear what y'all are going to say after the series is 2-2, and then they go up 3-2. I want to hear what y'all are going to say. So we're here now. The Warriors are up 3-2 on y'all Kings, and I'm just going to sit back.
So wait a minute.
Okay.
Let me get this straight here, Natalie. So Giannis, if he loses in the first round, he is you don't look at him as like the best, but best player is not going to lose in the first round. Did they win the series last night? Did they win the series last night? What if they lose in the first round?
They won the finals last year, and they won multiple.
And he won the finals the year before. 50 points in Game 6. Finals MVP.
Won one final.
Incredible.
He won one finals against, I'm sorry, with all due respect, the Phoenix Suns, who do not even have another top-level player on that team. Really? Come on. He was great.
Chris Paul, Devin Booker. I mean, pretty good players.
They're not LeBron. They're not KD. They're not those level of players. He is a great player, and he did a great thing. And I don't even think it's disrespect to say he's second or third best. All I'm saying is I don't want to hear him in the conversation for best, and that's it.
But my point is the Warriors did a nice job last night. They really Draymond Green. Hey, Draymond, you can shoot the ball. It looks pretty good when it goes. When you're shooting it. He had a great game, scoring and passing and defending. Wonderful. But they're up 3-2 on the Sacramento Kings, and there's no guarantee that they're going to win this series. So what's the celebration? Why are you celebrating a road win in the playoffs in the first round?
I was getting night gestures from y'all. I was getting all kinds of taunting when they were up 2-0. So you're going to tell me to temper my enthusiasm?
No. They're gonna close it out in 6, just like I said.
Are they?
They'll close it out in 6 at home.
Okay.
At home, because you never underestimate the heart of a champion. I mean, they had it where they want them all along. All I'm gonna say as we go to break is, look, you're a lawyer by trade. I'm gonna get this wrong. What is it, voir dire? What you call it when you excuse people from the jury because of bias or whatever? That's what it's called, voir dire? What's it called? You ain't answer me? Okay, that you excuse, because we know that you see the world through Steph Curry and rose-colored and Golden State glasses. Giannis is not disqualified from any conversation. Maybe Giannis just don't have a good enough coach. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Maybe if Giannis had Steve Kerr, maybe we wouldn't have been having this conversation. Or maybe if Giannis wasn't going against Jimmy effing Butler, how about that? Maybe he'd still be playing if it wasn't for Jimmy effing Butler. But you know what? Go ahead. You can talk your
Jimmy
trash.
Jimmy better than Giannis is what you're saying. Jimmy is greater than Giannis.
In the playoffs, Jimmy better than everybody. Jimmy better than your favorite player in the playoffs.
He's definitely disqualified. Sure. He's definitely disqualified.
Is not disqualified. Does Steph play defense like Giannis? Does Steph play defense like Giannis? No.
Yes.
Hey, thank you for watching Brother from Another. If you haven't hit that subscribe button, go ahead and do that now. Don't forget, you can catch us 3 to 4 weekdays on PeacockTV.com and on Sirius XM Channel 85.